We are live. I got to turn on a couple other pieces. Let's see here. All right, we're going to turn on Instagram, and I think we're going to be ready to roll, my man.
Right on, right on.
All right, so Instagram's live, so people are going to start hopping in over there. Comments in there. All right. Wonder if I can stack this. No, leave it like that. That's good, right? A little bit closer. Yeah. I like that look.
Then when we do this,
it's way cooler. You can see. Yeah, because you can't very wear the hat like that.
Oh man, they look
all right.
great.
So we got a couple people hopping in. I'm gonna go over here to the comments. So what's up, everybody? This is Kris with Dugout Mugs. You know Dugout Mugs. We're the crazy guys taking baseball bats, hollowing them out, and turn them into a pretty ridiculous mug. And we've done a lot of cool, fun stuff over the years. And one of my favorites is what we got to do with my guest tonight. David Mickey Evans has been a friend of ours here at the company for 2 years at least. And we've collaborated on several things. And tonight we're coming together to talk about one fun one. So first and foremost, you see it at the bottom. If you have any comments or questions about movies. So David wrote, narrated, and directed The Sandlot. Let's start right there at the top. Okay.
Helps.
Yeah, that's a big deal, right? So that's going to set everything else. And hell of a movie. If you don't know it, I don't know what rock you're living under, but The Sandlot is one of the most iconic, and I'll say it for you, one of the most iconic, most American baseball movies. I've seen it 50 times probably. My kids have seen it, and it just transcends generations, man.
Wow.
So, you know, kudos to that. So if you have any comments or you have any questions, you got questions about the movie, if there's any weird thing you've always wondered, like we're going to find that out tonight. So, David, what's up, dude? Good to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you too, Kris. I feel a little inadequate with the background of my paltry office and you having the most beautiful background for any Zoom I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's zoomed in. Well,
dude, it's so nice. That is impressive.
It starts there.
Oh.
These are my guys, man.
Anyway, I'm doing great.
How'd you fare with the storms? You're a Florida guy like me. You guys do all right?
Storms are all right. You know, it's funny, man. The minute they start forming, all of the meteorologists here are like, you know, that's it. Everyone's going to die. Go to ground. Blah blah blah. You know, storm watch. And that one came from the west. We're on the East Coast, so that came from the West Coast. Yeah. By the time it got here, and this is going to sound silly, it was only 90 miles an hour.
Everybody in every other state, they're like, "What the hell is that?"
You know, and so it kind of tweaked my flagpole.
But yeah, we're blessed, dude. Yeah, a lot of people weren't that fortunate.
No.
Got a lot of friends in Tampa, so.
Oh, they're done. That was horrible.
Yeah, it was aggressive. All right, so let's talk about. We're going to jump into a few things. We blocked off a half hour wrap, so I encourage you throw comments in there. I'll pin them up to the page, so it'll have your name and everything on there, and David can answer them as we go. But this is the photo, right? Like, let's start right here at the top. That's in screen? This photo is one of the most iconic photos that, as you say, has ever been featured in a motion picture. Yeah. And you own this photo. You own the rights to this photo, and you are the only guy with it. And because of that, we were able to do these incredible hats. And we have 1,000 hats. That's it. David and I got the first two, but it's Legends Never Die. And show them what's on the bottom, man. What do you got?
Okay, big reveal. This is the coolest thing ever. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's that.
So good. It's so good. We got that photo on the bottom of the hat.
Yeah,
it's a cork face, so it's awesome. It's gonna have, you see the patch. It's all stitched in there. Full cork, the cork front, beautiful. That's what we're doing with David tonight. That's what we're announcing. If you want one of these hats, grab it, pre-order. They get here in like 3 weeks, probably, maybe 4 weeks, something like that. But they'll be here by Christmas. So get them while you can. We launched it. We did a quiet launch the other day. We probably blew through a couple hundred. So
wow, man.
Yeah. Well, it's a dope hat. I mean, I'm a hat guy. I'm a spoiled brat.
I've worn it just a few places around my little town here, and every time. People, hey, where'd you get that hat? Hey, man, that's the coolest hat I've ever seen. Blah blah blah. Just it's instantaneous.
Imagine if you're walking around with a mug too, you won't even be able to get anything done.
It's like SANDLOT mug.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, the rap mug we did.
Yeah,
there he is.
Right? And it's like, wait, where are you?
Got Squints and Ham, the boys. Yes,
sir. Yeah, it's absolutely terrific. I love it.
So obviously, anybody that knows the SANDLOT, the mug we dropped a while back, I mean, it was incredible. We decided to go one step further and we launched the hats. So Kent, I got your message. The link right there, right on the front of the website. Do a pre-order. We're even doing, I think, 20% off on the pre-orders as well because people have to wait a little bit. Let's throw a couple questions in there and then we'll drop in because you were telling me a story before we went live and I made you stop and I want to hear the rest of it. And I want you, and we're also going to touch on the thing with James, James Earl Jones, who passed earlier this year. But let's grab a couple questions because I wanted to do a Q&A. So Nick said, "What's your favorite scene in the movie?" I think I know this answer already because
all right.
But you tell it better because you're a storyteller.
Listen, my absolute favorite scene is the nighttime baseball scene. Okay, it's really hard to choose anything from that movie. The Windy Peppercorn scene is obviously a big deal, but the nighttime baseball scene is my favorite because it sort of encapsulates everything I was trying to do with that movie. People go, "Boy, you must have had a great childhood." Well, no, that's the way I wanted my childhood to be, the Sandlot. And I wanted to have those kinds of, nighttime games where the fireworks and stuff were going off. And I couldn't think, I mean, I'm a product of, the 60s and 70s in Southern America. I mean, it's baseball. That's what it is. And
block parties. Yeah, I get
block parties. Yeah, that's why there's one in the Sandlot. But yeah, that nighttime thing, it makes me cry every time I see it. And, you had a bunch of 12-year-old kids out there, and it didn't get dark until probably 10 or 11 at night in Salt Lake City at that time of the year. And it can only work till 11.
So sweat laboring, child labor.
It's like child labor laws are there for
people.
Anyway, I think we shot the whole thing like 2 hours, including the ball dropping right on the ground right in front of the thing. It was amazing. By that time, the crew they were a well-oiled machine, man. They would have won any pit crew contest at NASCAR by that time. But that's my favorite one because it's the most American thing I could think of.
And the music.
And the music, right? Ray Charles. That was it. We always knew that scene was going to be great, but we never had a song for it. And then Danny Schweiger, I think, who's a great temp guy, when movies get done before they're mixed and the composers come aboard, there's these people that put music into a movie so that you can preview it and such. They're called temp artists. Well, I think it was Danny's call, and when I put that up and watched it with that, it wasn't a dry eye in the editing room, so it went in.
You knew you had a winner at that point.
Beautiful, yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. Here's a fun one, Bobby. How Benny's MLB career turned out since we only got to see him a pinch run at the end.
Man, that's a good question.
You've had questions over the years, but you've not had that one
before. Bobby, you're killing me early. All right, hang on. Well, I mean, at the end, when all the kids are sort of, vanishing off the Sandlot, they say the nickname stuck with him for the rest of his life. So I think you see that, and then you hear, now pinch hitting for Manny Motor, Benny the Jet Rodriguez pinch running. And you see the old guy, he's probably 40 at the time, right? One last, thing. But I think up until that point, he must have been playing for,
to have that epic mustache. He must have been there forever. Yeah. Or he's going to be playing for the 2024 LA Dodgers.
Well,
in fairness, that's David's team. I knew that, so I surprised him today. I overnighted him.
These bad boys.
Yeah, dude, there it is. The NL champs. But on my side, I'm gonna be holding up this one because I can't be picking sides. Right. I got one of each. The AL and NL champs.
And you're such a mensch, man. And I got this too.
Oh yeah,
That is just the best.
we don't play around, dude. We don't
Look
play
at
around.
boxer. You are
Chris.
serious. Anyway, so that was my favorite scene, and I mean, you know, I love the Wendy Peppercorn scene. I love the whole chase in the end. You know, I love all of it. But that's
I bet. Yeah. Answer this one because I want to talk about something in a second. Was the Babe Ruth ball a real auto?
no, and my prop master Terry Haskell has that ball. I think there was that one and probably two others that we used to switch around and stuff. But the actual Babe Ruth ball, you know, there's one we have that still has the Babe Ruth signature, one that was mauled by the dog and all that. That one, that is Babe Ruth's signature, but Terry actually copied it onto the ball, right? So it's, you know.
You do have something that is signed that is from the movie, right? You got that with you right now.
I do.
Snag that because that's a pretty cool story, bro. Especially with James passing this year.
You know, it's funny, dude. It's exactly right. Here, I'll show it first. I'll tell the story. How in the heck do I do this?
Maybe, yeah. There you go. Angle it up a little bit. So what is that? Is that Gehrig, Babe, and Mick? No, not
it's
Mick.
Lou. No, it's Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, and Mr. Myrtle, Thelonious Myrtle, who's James Earl Jones. And I don't remember who the original person was because obviously they photoshopped his face in there. But anyway, this is the actual photo when
James Earl Jones was remembering back about being a player towards the end of the movie.
Go look at that stuff. And Scotty does, and he sees this and goes, "You knew Babe Ruth?" Well, this is it. So since Babe Ruth's jersey, his called shot jersey, right, which is mentioned at the beginning of the Sandlot, just sold for what, $24 million, maybe something like that.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's just insane. And unfortunately, Mr. Jones left us recently, and he was just the most gracious man I ever met.
Yeah, he seemed like a really good dude. Where are you? Where are you selling? Is that gonna be on like Golden Auctions or something?
You know what? I haven't. It's not going to be on Golden, that's for sure.
Okay,
but it's going to be on another one, and I will make sure you know.
Yeah, let me know. I'll share it because that's a cool piece, man.
Yeah, you know, these guys at Comics and Crypto are helping me out, and when I decided to do with it, unless you know, the Dugout Mugs office,
bro. I'll tell you, I would.
Anyway, the point was, since those
I can make room. I can make room.
Yeah, you can. I figured, listen, I'll put it up for auction, and you know, a good portion of it, I'm going to give it to charity, obviously.
Yeah, I know you do. You do a lot with philanthropy.
This has been hanging on my wall literally since the day I got home from making the movie. So
that's sick.
That's all right, man.
That's cool. I like that jersey too. What's that Legends jersey about?
Oh, I'm happy you asked me about that, bro.
Because again, Legends never die. Okay. Obviously, it's my favorite line in the movie. And I thought, because I'm a freaking crazy hat guy, and if you don't know why we're here, this is why we're here. David and I agreed to not spill the beans until we could get on together. Absolutely. The Legends never die with the Sandlot boys underneath it, which, as you know, it's this iconic photo right here that David graciously let us put on this hat to create a cool piece. So, speaking of Legends, tell me about the jersey. What we got going on with that thing?
The jersey is a jersey from a Little League team in Colorado, and the name of the league is the Sandlot League. And there's a dad and a mom, who had a young boy who had some physical difficulties, whatnot, and he didn't get to play with regular Little League. So this dad took it on, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to make a league for my son and all the other kids like him who really, really want to play baseball, but maybe can't participate, you know, in the other organized Little Leagues." So he calls it the Sandlot League, and they have 4 teams. It started just with 1 team at their local park, and now it's a big, big deal. And they got 4 teams. They're expanding even more this coming year. And the name of the teams are the Legends, the S'mores, the Beasts, and one more.
They kept it true to the movie.
They kept it right on the movie, man.
That's sick.
So he sent me an Insta, and I sent him they were gonna have their big opening day or whatever it was. No, some sort of big event at their local ballpark. So I sent him a video, and he sent me this cool thing. And then you sent me this, and I thought, dude, we should go to Vegas and bet like whatever the numerical equivalents of these are. Millions.
Yeah.
Anyway,
my wife would love that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Hey, babe, I'm going to Vegas with Dave.
Yeah, no. That long ago.
I was going to throw this up here. So Bobby said, question about Smalls, Scotty's crazy long hat. This was a funny photo. I don't know. Have you ever seen this photo? Scotty took a picture in that hat.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
The hat, but with the dugout mug.
With the dugout mug. I was with him. I gave him it when we did that. Yeah, that
was the longest hat on
it.
Earth.
Is. Yeah. They used the really old school fishing hats because when I was a kid, one of my grandfathers sent us when we lived in California, lived in New Jersey, and he sent us those long hats with a fish on it and stuff. And so when I wrote the movie, I go, yeah, I got to put that in because Scotty's a dork to begin with. Yeah. And I have it. And awesome. It's in my closet and hermetically sealed. And where can you get one? You know what? You might want to try Cabela's. I think they might have long-billed fishing hats. Who asked about that? Oh, Bobby. All right, yeah. Look up Cabela's, Bobby.
That's funny. Tell me, so there's a story that I remember about the tree. Because we're talking about some of the crazy secrets of the set and things like that. Yeah. Tell me about the story about the tree. That was pretty cool. Share that one if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. We shot this entire movie in Utah, and the reason we did is because it's the only other place in the world that has a valley encircled by purple mountains. Like the LA Basin is encircled by the San Gorgonios, and Salt Lake City has got the Wasatch Mountains. So we shot it there. Plus, it's a right to work state. We didn't have a lot of money, and we needed a tree. They had built the Sandlot, and it was beautiful, and we needed a tree. And we thought, well, we're going to have to build one out of concrete and chicken wire or whatever. But we didn't have the money. We literally weren't going to be able to.
So this was like bootstrap. Like a lot of the movie was all bootstrap.
Yeah, I mean, look, that movie's been around. If I spent $8 million making that, I'd be shocked. I did probably that or a little less.
Which, in the scheme of things, is significantly low.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could. I was like, we didn't panic or anything. I was talking to my production designer. I go, "What are we going to do, Chester Kaczynski?" He says, "You know what, David? I just don't know." So weirdly enough, the next morning, he's driving to work across Salt Lake City, 5, 6 in the morning, I think it was. And he said, driving along, and he looks off the side. There's a man with an old house, beautiful old house, like a Mormon pioneer type house built 200 years ago, whatever. And this dude's out there with a big chainsaw, revving it up right next to this massive 200-year-old oak tree. And so Chester stops, and he's waving at the guy, and the guy's, "What do you want?" And he says, "Hey, man, what are you doing with that tree?" He says, "I'm going to cut it down." And Chester says, "Well, why are you going to do that? It's like 200 years old." And he goes, "It's finally messing up the foundation to my house, and I got to take it down." And Chester goes, "Can I have it?" The guy goes, "What?" He goes, "The tree. Can I have the tree?" And the guy goes, "Are you serious?" And it's like, "Yeah, I swear to you, I want the tree." He goes,
"Dude, how much does that have to weigh?"
And he goes, "No, I don't want to cut it up. I want the whole thing. I want the tree." The guy goes, "Yeah, if you can get it out of here without messing everything up, it's yours. Take it." So the next day, we showed up with a flatbed and an excavator and all kinds of arborists and stuff, and the power people and the telephone people, because we had to take down power lines and phone lines to put this thing was huge. It was, I don't know, 30 some feet in the air going down these streets, until we could get it to the Sandlot, and then popped it in a big hole and put, dude, I don't know, 10, 17 yards of cement in there. And,
hold the thing up.
Yeah. And it was there when we left, and it's not there anymore. I do, however, in one of the prototype Sandlot mugs, I have a piece of the tree.
Of the old tree. And the fake leaves.
They're all fake. Every one. There was over 1 million of those on that tree.
So what that was your job, putting 1,000,000 leaves on a tree?
Yeah, they worked real hard doing that, man. It took a long time.
That's what you do with the kids when they're not on the scene.
Yeah.
Hey guys, here's some glue.
Get into production.
Yeah, this is going to be a legendary movie. Here's your glue stick.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's the tree, man. We got so lucky; it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, people aren't just handing out trees these days. So the fact you're driving by and just snag one, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love all the fake leaves on it. That was a great. I would have never. Who would know, right?
Yeah, if you go to the Sandlot to this day, there's still
leaves on the ground.
Yeah, they're still there.
I would be shocked if people didn't go there just to snag a few of them. Sean was asking, how was James to work with? I know you briefly mentioned he was one of the nicest guys you ever met, but
absolutely. Yeah. James was he was the nicest man and the most gracious man. And I've been around a lot of movie stars, big time actors and stuff, and that guy had more charisma in his little finger than anybody that I've ever met. I mean, you could feel that guy and his vibe and his charisma and it was all good. It was just this, I don't know, positive force of nature coming, before you could see him. I mean, and then when you stand with him, you just felt like, wow, you're in the presence of greatness,
Mm-hmm.
And so 2 stories. The day he shows up, he knew my assistant director, Bill Elvin, God rest his soul. And I can see Mr. James over there with Bill, and they're doing this, And I walk up and I don't say anything. And so James Earl Jones goes, Bill, when do I get to meet the director? But of course he did that in that voice, right? And he says, well, there's the director right here. And I go, oh, Mr. Earl, Jones. And he looks at me and he goes, no, seriously, Bill, where's the director? Yeah, he didn't believe I was the director. I looked pretty young at that time. I was 27, 28, something like that. But I didn't look it. I looked. And I said, that's one story. But the best story is when the boys found out he was on set, that he was with us, and he was actually having breakfast or something, a bowl of oatmeal, and all by himself. And I went over, said hi, blah, blah, blah. And all the kids are standing, I don't know, at a distance, looking at him and poking each other like, who's going to be first, right? So finally, Yaya, who's Marty York, this skinny little kid, goes, I'll do it. He goes over there with a piece of paper and a pencil, and the kid walks up and goes, are you Darth Vader? And James Earl Jones goes, no, I am your father. And but dude, there's a 12-year-old kid in 1990, whatever it was, too. And he was just like, you could have knocked him over with a feather, man.
That's awesome.
Hysterically awesome. And he signed all their stuff, and they all took the pictures and stuff. He was just the greatest dude. Just a great man, and what an artist,
Was there any of the people in the movie that like you're glad you didn't have to work with after it was over? Because I'm sure there were some good ones. I'm sure there were some that were difficult. Or maybe we don't talk about that part.
Yeah. That's a tough question to ask, but I'll answer it like this. Not that we're before the camera.
There you go.
And
Allison, she's great. She's been a customer several times. She's like, can I get my hat signed? She was one of the first ones to grab some whenever we did that.
Oh, that's terrific. Can you get your hat signed? Affirmative. Absolutely. Yes.
There's your answer, Allison. So we'll have to sort that out. I'll let you know when they come in. I'll get with David on a couple things. You're not too far. I might head to the beach.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Come up there.
Absolutely. I will sign. I have Sharpie will sign. Yes.
I will. I think it'd probably go good, like maybe right there on that edge.
Dude, you could go like black like this, or you could go silver.
On the brim or on the back. I wouldn't go here. It would have to go
there.
Or maybe right there even.
Yeah.
It's nice and flat.
Down below, yeah. Now, I will not be signing my own hat.
No, you shouldn't do that. That would be like the well, I won't go there.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Let's talk about playoffs. Let's talk about World Series. I don't doubt anybody's under a rock that bad. We got the Dodgers and the Yankees. These right here are the national. Can I show you? Okay, I'm not supposed to show this, but I'm going to show it anyway because I don't care. Check this out. This is the photo shoot that we did today with all of the World Series collection. So anybody who's watching is going to get the very first sneak peek.
Whoa, wow, dude! Does that come as a set?
It probably will, but I mean, we got the coasters, we got Christmas ornaments, we got the openers, we got 4 different style mugs, and then here is the.
Oh man,
that's the collection you like.
Yeah, that's right there. That's it. Your mouth to God's ears, dude.
So these are all lock and key per MLB. We got to be pretty tight with these things. They're not able to be shown, distributed, anything before it goes. But yeah, I don't care. There you are. That's what's coming down the pipe. So for everybody cheering for these 2 teams, I saw some people like, can both teams please lose? It was probably a Marlins fan, but
Marlins.
Shout out to all my Marlins fans. But like these are the championship mugs. So we got some of these. I think we just made one for Mario Lopez. We sent that one out yesterday, and there's a few other influencers that are LA people. But then you got the New Yorkers, man, Spike Lee and all these guys. So we're making some cool mugs. So if y'all haven't got these mugs and you're interested, we only run these for like a week because whoever wins the World Series, that mug gets shut off. So if you collect our mugs, I know several people collect our mugs. And you want an AL champs or an NL champs, go to the site and just look it up. Type in NL champ, you'll find it. But while we're here, because we got everybody keeps kind of coming in and out. Let me show you what we're doing here. It is the Legends Never Die hat. This is brand new. I have a little bit of a background in apparel originally, but then so these right here, it's the Sandlot boys on the backstop underneath, cork hat. So it's a exclusive dugout mug. It's an exclusive dugout mug offering that we did with my guy David, and that's why we're on here jamming. So back to this. If anybody's got any comments or questions, throw them in there. We'll get back to them in a second. But so, what are your thoughts on this series, man? I mean, you got Judge, you got Ohtani. It looks like a freaking all-star team on both sides.
It does. I read something today that said this is the big dollar World Series we've been waiting for forever, right? It's like, the 2 biggest teams in baseball, I think. Before I answer that question,
the Mets had the biggest payroll.
Really?
The Mets were number 1, if I recall. Now I think Yankees were 2, Dodgers were 5, but still, you're talking about the top 5. That's a conversation to have, man. Like, can you buy a championship? I've been seeing a lot of people talking about that. And the answer is probably.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you can. You can buy an NBA championship. Anyway, what do you think's going to happen with Clayton? Is he out? He's just out, right? Didn't he have a?
I don't know about his contract. I'll tell you what, just a good guy though, right? Like
he's a great guy. I've met him. You probably met him more than me. But the point is he going to play? Isn't he injured?
I think I don't know. I don't know. That's one of the guys I have not. I like a lot of the up and coming guys. I like watching Volpe. I like Pajes. I like Luis Hill. I like some of the new guys, right? Like, who's good, who's already there. I mean, Judge and Ohtani. Ohtani's an anomaly. It's not even.
Dude, those guys are freaks of nature.
Right. And Aaron Judge, same way. I mean, it's absolutely.
Yeah, I've actually shook his hand once. The guy's enormous.
That's great.
He's one of the biggest human beings. I mean, he's not like Shaq, but he's.
Yeah.
You look at the guy.
Well, or Stanton.
Going to be one of the best baseball players ever.
Or Stanton. I mean, talk about just a freak of nature. He's a maniac too. This is going to be like if there's ever been like a clash of the Titans, like this is it.
Well, there was the 70s. Do you remember the 77s? When was it? It was the Dodgers and the Yankees.
I was -4 in 77. So
I wasn't that much older, but there was Ron Guidry and my God, Craig Nettles, Bucky Dent, Thurman Munson, and all that great Yankees team.
Yeah.
Was, Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, Rick Monday, and everyone. And Fernando wasn't there at that time. that I went to one game at Dodger Stadium of that, but I was too young to really appreciate it. But is this the first time that's happened since then? Because I'm not that up on my World Series.
I would encourage, you know what? The people watching probably have good feedback on that.
Yeah, Ron Say, yeah, he played that series, the Penguin. Christy, you're absolutely right. Christy, got my bucket pick sign. Hats are weird. This is awesome, man. Do I still see any of the kids in the movie? That's so weird. Apps all the time. I just got a text from Shane Obuzinski, who played Repeat.
Shane's over by us.
Yeah, he's you guys are all neighbors over there, man.
Yeah, he might be watching. What's up, Shane? If you are,
hey,
I got you.
If you're watching, yeah.
I got to get you a hat. I know you're probably a hat guy.
And they, and then we go to signings. They go to a lot more than I do, but we see each other there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're all really tight, and we're in contact all the time. So it's really, really cool.
Here's Daryl Digwood, man. Thanks for being a follower and a supporter all these years, man. I've seen that name for 6 or 7 years.
Right,
so appreciate it. But he was asking where'd you get some of the names, like if it was inspired by anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And before I say anything, I always say this. In the beginning of Tom Sawyer, I think it's Tom Sawyer, might be Huckleberry Finn. Mark Twain, I'm not comparing myself to Mark Twain, but he writes, "Dear reader, none of these boys is any boy I knew, and all of these boys is every boy I knew." So that's the overarching answer to your question. I never based any of the kids on anybody specifically, but oh my God, yeah, you're entitled to your own memories. I knew a kid, there were kids that did that, and one in particular was like, yeah. He just had that tick where he'd say yeah all the time, and I don't think any of the others. That was me. I named him yeah, and then Marty would, he had this funny laugh, and we put some stuff together, and that was his character. He was terrific. But stuff I didn't do was like when Squints does this, that was all John C. Leopardi, and he wasn't trying to be cool. It was just that the glasses he picked out of the prop thing were big, too big for his face, and they kept doing this all the time. So we threw some tape on there, and I said, "Dude, do that again," and he kept it, and it became a thing. And then the actor who played his grandpa saw it, went, "Oh man, things like that happen in movies all the time. I love them. They're these little."
Who do you think nailed their character like the best?
The Beast. But that's not fair. Of the boys, it's an impossible question to answer because they were all supposed to be who they are. I mean, I wrote a script, and then when I found kids that were relatively fearless, didn't care about the camera, were natural, authentic, could tell a joke, had a good sense of humor and all that, I got that kid. Finally assembled this thing, and then I made some adjustments. Like the kid who played Bertram was originally a play. Yeah. When it's an ensemble, you have to get them all in a room and see how they look, and it becomes obvious at that time. Anyway, but there was tons of, but they were, Benny the Jet Rodriguez is Mike Vitar, and vice versa, and each one of them were like that. I mean, they're all, it's an ensemble. None of them exist without the rest of them. So I can't answer that question because I think they all, well, I mean, some had more to do than others. I mean, that's obvious. But as far as inhabiting their little characters, I made it so that they were their little characters. Nice.
It has to be kind of tied in, right? Or else, like,
yes, and dude,
authenticity and like the genuine vibe of, that's what makes it.
It is. I mean, and that's the kids, and that's the way I have to deal with them. But in the adults, it's like Marley Shelton as Wendy Peppercorn. Marley shows up. She's utterly professional. She's ridiculously gorgeous, and she asked 1 or 2 questions, and I said, "Look, you're an icon. You're supposed to be on a pedestal and a goddess." She goes, "All right," and she nailed it. James Earl Jones. I didn't have to tell
Yeah.
him anything. I didn't tell him it. What am I going to tell James Earl Jones?
Nothing. He didn't.
Nothing. Okay.
You sit there and you shut up.
I sit there and learn something, dude.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, he showed up. At the first time I saw him, he was in costume. I was like, Jesus, it's Mr. Myrtle. You know, and he just inhabited it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how they do it.
And Larry too. Larry too. I mean,
Larry was great. He was a terrific dude. A really cool dude to hang around with. Yeah, really good dude.
That's awesome. Did you ever see that that funny like mock-up video we did with Dugout Mugs and like a pretend Wendy Peppercorn? I'm gonna have to send it to you. It's hilarious.
Oh man, I don't think so.
It's awesome. I'll send it to you. But it was like we had a video group we were working with Westlake Creative or something like that. So shout out to y'all. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We did the thing, and it was like a Wendy Peppercorn inspired like clip with just music and her sitting up on the lifeguard thing with a Dugout mug, sipping out of a mug. It was pretty cool.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure. Christy, show that.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah.
Mason Hall, do you want a Sandlot themed bat putter? So I'm assuming that is do you golf?
I do, for occasionally. I mean, I go out there with clubs and a ball. I don't know if I actually golf. I do hit the ball.
Well, I've been golfing lately, and it's been going okay. I have a golf company. You're right, a golf ball and cigar line and everything else. Yeah, I'll have to send you some cool stuff. I
love coming on Zooms with you, Kris. I learn something new every time. I had no idea.
Yeah, like 99% of everything I do is Dugout, but I enjoy beer, baseball, golf, cigars, things like that. So like, who doesn't? So of course I have a
living, right?
It's called Big Golf, by the way. You can check it out. BIGG. Big
Golf.
Golf.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I'll have to send you some stuff. But yeah, Mason, maybe we mock something up. I'll arrange to get it over to David. So
yeah, man.
Let's see. Great scene when the kids first met James Earl Jones. Yeah. Favorite part, Christy said, when the tobacco on the scrambler. What brought that up? Because listen, we were all little. I was a little boy going all through the 80s. You were a little before that. But like, that is the ridiculous mischief. You get a handful of us together and like shit's going wrong, right? It's like, what brought that up? Same thing. It's like experience. Because I know now maybe you could touch on this, but I know your brother had influence in this movie. That a lot of people don't. We talked about this at the bar. And when I say at the bar, I mean, we closed down a bar one day, did a bunch of filming. Let me elaborate. And we sat there and we just rapped for, 4 hours probably. What a fun day.
That was awesome.
But you were telling stories. So touching your brother, but like like they were just asking the tobacco scene.
The tobacco, yeah. Well, I mean, plot-wise, they really needed to do something cool. We all went to celebrate. It'd been a solid victory, blah, blah, blah. And so I needed to get these guys in some trouble. And, everything in that movie to these guys is baseball oriented. That's what goes Big Chief the best. And look, which one of us, I mean, I'll speak for 12-year-old boys. Okay. Maybe girls are the same. Maybe they're different. I don't know. Which one of us didn't think he knew everything, absolutely had to do everything. The pros, you go, man. Yeah. I'm working on it.
Yeah, daily struggle.
And so that's what 12-year-olds do. 12-year-old. Well, they did when I was a kid. And it was like, stuff it in there. They're not going to hit him for a minute and a half, 90 seconds later. Yeah. And then they get on the old Trabant, which is one of the only mistakes in the movie, is that ride. Because it was supposed to be 62. That didn't come out until like 64, 65. So
a timeline error that probably nobody on yourself.
It's what I had,
Yeah.
It still works. It looked great,
So there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean said, my wife wants to know, you're killing me, Smalls. How'd it come about?
All right, Sean.
Hey, thanks for being a big Dugout customer too. Yeah. You got all the stuff. You got the dice game, the T-shirt, the bottle opener. I'm actually, Dave, you seen these? We got these bottle openers in the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got these dropped too. So appreciate all the support. But yeah, where did You Killing Me Smalls come from?
So in the script, the line is actually Ham says it to Scotty. He goes, you know what? You kill me, Smalls. You kill me. And then there's another instance in which he goes, I already told you, you kill me. You kill me. The first time we shot a scene in which Pat Renna had to say as Ham, that line was in the treehouse at night, which was a set in a warehouse. And I set it up. And we go, all right, let's do it. So he's making us some more and blah, blah, to do the scene. And at the end, Pat says, you're killing me, Smalls. And my scriptie, the script supervisor, nudges me. She goes, I go, yeah, I know. He goes, he said it wrong. And I said to her, well, don't tell him because it's better. And I'm taking credit for it. Okay. And I immediately changed it in the script. I said, you got it, man. Just keep saying, you're killing me, Smalls. It was better,
Yeah.
So.
That's funny. I mean, I've been there. You think like I do a lot of marketing and stuff
Sure.
for this company and others. And you go one route and then you realize as soon as you're neck deep in it, you're like, damn, this is better. I'm going to go with that. And yeah, so but that's professional maturity to like, hey, this kid out of nowhere just killed it with what he said. Yeah.
Dude, you got to get out of your own way for that stuff. I don't care who comes up with a good idea. If it's a good idea, it's a good idea, and we're going to use it. And I do this on set. We've done it a million times. It's like if somebody has a good line or this or that, I get my bullhorn out. And I go, ladies and gentlemen, blah blah blah, and you get a round of applause because it's going in the movie.
Yeah, that's got to be a good feeling. For anybody that's just new in here, Legends Never Die hat. These just dropped. They're on a pre-order. It's got the boys underneath. If you did not get one yet, I suggest you do that. They're $49. I think we're doing a promotion, $39 because it's pre-order, and they'll be ready. I think the very first week of December. They're going to be here by Christmas. So ridiculous gift. You're always looking for a gift of something that somebody would love but doesn't have. These don't exist until David and I got together and made this hat, and we dropped it. It's an exclusive Dugout piece.
Yeah.
Shout out to Parker at Heartbeat. These hats are dope. I love you, man. You make a great product. You deserve some credit. And thanks for working with me on this project too. I think they came out fantastic. So pre-orders right there, dugoutmugs.com/hat. What else? Is there anything else going on? What else we got going on, man?
Well, I didn't tell you, dude. You probably, I don't know if you do or not. There's a project with the SANDLOT. It's SANDLOT oriented.
Okay.
I can't tell you what it is, but I want to tell you who one of my partners is.
Okay.
The Cap. Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. But you can't tell. So you're going to start with that, then not tell anybody what it is.
Let me put it this way. Here, we'll just do it in code. I'll say this: if it was like a SANDLOT animated series, there's no way I'd be allowed to mention that.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, right. Just want you to know that.
That'd be fun. Derek's a cool guy. He's a Dugout Mugs guy.
Yeah, I thought you guys might have a deal with him. Yeah,
we did some Derek Jeter stuff. I think we probably still have some. But Derek, I remember for his Super Bowl party. He got a bunch of Dugout Mugs, all custom, because we do. And by the way, we're all here chatting. We do a lot of custom logo stuff. If you didn't know, I mean, we could pull this off with the SANDLOT. I mean, we could do anything. But
this is the greatest mug of all time.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good. We've sold several of those. Actually, a lot of people on here own them.
Yeah,
but
it's so beautiful.
So we do custom logo mugs. So if anybody's going into Christmas and owns a company, maybe is like HR or something like that, we've been doing a ton of corporate gifting. Stuff where, like Dodgers, for example, somebody in LA's got 50 employees and they want to get their name on the backside of a Dodgers mug to give them we could do all that stuff. So definitely keep us in mind for that. Kent, what's up, man? Yeah. The David Ross ball. Absolutely. So I met David Ross. Where was David? That had to have been at a celebrity golf tournament. David's a fantastic guy, by the way. I just ran into him the other day again here in Florida. He's been golfing a lot. But yeah, I'm glad. I can't even tell you how many things we've probably given away. We do something called Signature September every year. We give away 30 items in 30 days, and we've done it for 4 years. So, and then this crazy wheel, which I haven't whipped out. Maybe I should go live again later, but I keep this thing right down here. Have you seen this?
I don't think so, man.
Hold on. Wait, this is what it's.
Oh,
Yeah,
the MLB Wheel of Fortune.
That thing gets me in trouble, bro. I'm not gonna get it spinning. Well, I'll do another live probably first part of next week, because right in the middle of the World Series. So we do is we spin things. So Sean said he got a Rod Carew autograph card. I give out. So Wade Boggs is a good dude. Wade signed some stuff. I actually wouldn't mind. You know what I should do? I should try to see if some of the retired Yankees would want to jump on, because I know a few of those guys, and I bet you they'd hop on just to razz up all the Dodgers fans. Nick Swisher and Wade Boggs and David Wells and some of those boys. Good stuff. Well, listen, does anybody else have any final questions? Throw them out there. Again, why we're here, we're launching the hat. Dugoutmugs.com/hat. You can't mess that up. If you want a really, really, really ridiculous gift, that's it. I'm a hat guy. I 100% get behind the quality and the style of this hat. So snag one of those. And if you got any more questions, throw them out there for David. Otherwise, I have
just one last. How many baseballs were destroyed? How many baseballs were destroyed by a dog in the movie? Man, that's a really good question. And I don't know the exact number, but I will tell you this. Spalding, or I think it was Rawlings, gave us everything we wanted, for like free. Here, you want more balls? The prop truck had so many baseballs on it. It would be hand them out every day. You guys need balls? So there were gazillions of them all over the place. The ones that were on camera, there's, I believe, 3 of them. One is the Babe Ruth ball. One is the Babe Ruth ball chewed up by the dog. And another one is just when he busted the thing. Anyway, those 3 balls, Terry Haskell has them, the prop manager. And if that Babe Ruth ball that was in the Sandlot, he ever decides to put that up for auction, you're going to see a lot of zeros after that one.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like one of those cult classic movies, man, where you know better than anybody.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea? Even okay, you did the movie, everything fell into place. You did it on a shoestring budget, and it killed. Did you know that it was going to have this kind of lasting effect after the fact?
No, you never do. You can't. It's impossible. I mean, look, maybe in the future, but all you can sort of hope for is like, are people laughing where I intended them to laugh? Are they, excited where I intended them to be excited? All that. And in the very first screening we ever had, I think it was at the Bruin in Westwood, California, full house, and that was my first. I mean, Radio Flyer, I had gone to see that movie and stand in the back. You do this when you're a director, writer, and stuff. Your movie comes out, you go tell the theater guy, hey, I'm the dude. Can I go? And they let you in, and you see, is the audience reacting the way you want them to, and all that. So the very first one, it slayed. It just absolutely slayed, and it was a rough cut. It wasn't even the original music and stuff. It's like what we were talking about before we went on the air, Chris. It was a temp mix,
Yeah.
And everybody stood up at the end. I mean, you got like a bit of a standing ovation and all that. I was like, holy shit. They really liked it. They really liked it.
We might have something here.
And it went out, and it did really, 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 really well considering its budget. I mean, you see these idiotic things these days. Whoa, so-and-so's movie went out, Brad Pitt, this, that, whatever. And it did really well with $35 million and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that movie cost $150 million. This one cost $8 million, and it went out and made about 40 in its first, 6 months, 5 months of release. Now, the cool thing about it is that we were right in the middle, 1993, right in the middle of the VHS rental revolution, right? So that number, and the number is how many tapes does the studio feel comfortable putting into circulation? In order, how many do they think will rent again and again and again? They put 600,000 into the rental market for a little movie like that was unheard of. And they were for sale as well, and they're $99 each at that time. So do the math. Okay.
Wow, really?
And then, so that I was like, wow, man, this thing just keeps making money. People keep loving it. Then DVDs came around.
Do you feel like it got more popular as the years went on because
Yes,
it was timeless?
100%. Yes. And so many people have seen it. It gets this gigantic worldwide following. And anybody that hasn't seen it that comes in contact with one of those people goes and watches the movie. So DVD came around and, it just went. I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably between somewhere. This is a big thing, between 5 and 8, maybe 6 and 10 million DVDs. And for a little tiny movie from not Disney that isn't animated, that's impossible. And so a lot of people love this movie.
Yeah, and it's y'all are on 40 years. You just crossed the 40-year mark, right?
Yeah, 30. Well, 31 years, right?
Oh, 90. Yeah. I was thinking,
93?
yeah, 31.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. I bet those boys and I've chatted with some of them. I couldn't imagine the ripple effect, and some continued into film, and others didn't, and or not to any grand extent. But it's it's wild, just that impact that you did something when you were a kid that you just like, dude, I got a gig. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then 3 decades later,
it's still, I mean,
still rolling,
they're all really good guys. One or two of them have had some difficulties. They're really good dudes. They were all, 11, 12, and 13 years old when we worked together. And I feel like, and they all had great families, good, just terrific. I feel like, well, whoever went to college, you're welcome. Because it paid for college.
It easily paid for college.
I started a business. They're still getting residuals, and they will. Those residuals won't even stop when we pass away. So wild. It's a wonderful, wonderful
gift that you didn't know you were giving out.
Exactly.
What's the best part, most fun part filming The Sandlot? Do you think?
Oh man! Just Okay. I'll tell you the biggest moment. Staggering moments the entire time we shot that movie. However, for me personally, there was this abandoned mini mall in Glendale, Salt Lake City, Utah, outside Salt Lake City, very lower income kind of area. And there was a mini bus. We took the whole mini mall and we all had offices. Well, right across the street was where we built The Sandlot. And for, weeks, I'd be doing script rewrite, all this other stuff, and my construction crew, my production designer, be over there behind this fence. The first thing they built was a fence. Working on The Sandlot, Mr. Myrtle's house, the tree house, all that. And I went over a couple times, and then I stopped going over. And one day, Chester knocked at my door. My production designer goes, "Hey man, it's ready. You want to see it?" And we walked over there, and I walked onto The Sandlot, which I had lived it the way I lived it when I was a kid. That was 3-dimensional. Then I wrote it. That's 2-dimensional. And then when I got back out there on The Sandlot, it was there. It was in 3 dimensions. I could touch everything. It looked better than I had ever imagined. And I shed a few tears that day. That was my absolute most wow moment on the movie. And there were a lot of them, but that was a big one.
Yeah, I bet. All right, dude. Listen, I have burned up an hour of your life, and I know you don't mind at all, and I don't either, because I always love jamming with you. You're always a good guy, and I appreciate your support of our company.
Back at you.
We love what we do. This, and I appreciate the collaboration, because we don't just do mugs. For anybody who doesn't know, the mission of Dugout Mugs. This is our mission statement. If you don't know where to find it, it's on our site. We celebrate and serve the heroes of the baseball community by creating uniquely fun gifts that bring people closer to the game they love. Now, we also make baseball bat mugs, right? But at the end of the day, we create cool things. We create cool products. We try to create a cool environment, because in a wild, crazy world that we live in, sometimes it's fun to just do what we do. And we obviously support the heroes of the baseball community, and you, sir, are one of those legends. So a tip of the cap to you, my man, and thank you again for your time and for jamming with some folks. And I'm sure we'll be in touch soon.
I hope so. Thanks for having me on again, Kris. I really dig it, man. Anytime, anywhere, just let me know.
I'll get you a couple of those hats and we'll link them up. We got a few folks that asked for that, but that might be a little bit a couple weeks after they get here. But we'll sort that out to the ladies that asked. So.
Okay, man. All right,
everybody. Everybody have an amazing night out there.